I was trying to get my logo for the karate school that I work at. Now, this logo goes on your belt, and what it means is that I know all the curriculum for the little kids. So, like the white belts to like the brown belts. And, I'm able to teach them as like the lead teacher instead of, assisting someone else. But anyway, I needed to practice a lot to get it, and I made a plan to practice every day to really push for this logo. But I just couldn't get consistent. I would try and do it, but I would constantly forget about doing it a lot of times per week. On the weekends, I would forget about it. If I had a late class, I would forget to do it after that class. I didn't know what to do until I saw this video on habit trackers. I made my own paper. I put it up on the wall right back there, and I haven't missed a single day of practice since I went on vacation with my grandfather a little over a month ago at this point. Now, what is a habit tracker? A habit tracker is something you use to, check off those daily things you should be doing every day. So I recommend putting it on a piece of paper, like the one back there. I know you can't see it, but you see those papers back there. This one is a habit tracker. And, because it's really nice to have the habit tracker physically like in front of you so you can see what you're missing, what you've already done, what you still need to do. But habit trackers are used to show yourself the habits you've built and help you to remind yourself to maybe do the new habits, or if you forgot to do an old habit, do that one, like the karate one I just mentioned. And they also give you a little dopamine every time you get to check off one of those boxes to show yourself the work you've already done today. Because, at the end of the day, when I hop in bed and I can go on my habit tracker and I see, oh, cool, I already did this one, I did this one, I did this one, I did this one, this one, makes me feel great because I see all the work I've already done today. But, you know, so that little dopamine boost is great, especially since it's not really cheap because you still have to work to do it. So, why are habit trackers so useful? Well, they give you a very quick and easy reminder of the things you need to do today. It is something you can look back, you can see it, and you can say, oh, I still need to do meditation today. I still need to read today, something like that. And, with this habit tracker, especially if you put it in the right place, which I will get to soon, it will be so easy to build new habits because all you have to do is take a Sharpie or something, pop it open, write. Well, let's say you want to get into the habit of practicing football every day. Just write football on the habit tracker, and then boom, you'll have it right in front of you every day that you need to do football. Just as simple as that. Because, as long as it's in the right spot, you should be reminded every day to do this, and it'll make it so much easier to form new habits. And I talked about this. You do get a little dopamine each time you check off one of those boxes, and it really helps to boost your confidence when you see all the work you've put in for this week, this month, this year, because you keep checking off those boxes every day with your habit tracker. So a habit tracker will make building new habits, staying consistent with old habits, so much easier and more gratifying to do. Now let's talk about how to make your own habit tracker. Now they're super easy to make. So all you have to do is grab a piece of paper first, and then grab a marker or something. Then I recommend doing like a month. So like currently I have this lined paper where I'm gonna do about a month on it. So write the month at the top. Currently it's November, so I'm gonna write November at the top. I don't know if you can see that, but November at the top. Then, write the habits that you want to do. So I recommend at least having exercise, meditation, reading, journaling, and then anything else you want. So, like this: November, exercise, meditation, read, journal, etc. Then just draw lines if you have line paper down as straight as possible, just like this. And so your habit tracker looks a little bit like this. Now, the lines don't have to be perfect. You can see mine aren't perfect. Doesn't really matter as long as you have like boxes. And then each time you do something, just check it off the list. Just like this. See? Put a check or an X every day so you can see what you've done. And that's it. Very simple, very easy to make. And, you know, it doesn't require much space at all either because, there's it's a piece of paper maybe like as big as this. And, you can see on my wall, I have a bunch of papers around here. Those ones are my goals over there. These two are habit trackers. This one is another big goal that I have, and these ones are motivational quotes. So you can see that I haven't even filled up half my wall, and I already have one, two, three, four, five, six, seven papers on my wall. So it really does not take up any space at all. Now let's talk about how to check off those boxes because hold on. A lot of people get this wrong when they see habit trackers that they think when it says exercise, they have to exercise for an hour every day to make sure the box is checked off. But that's just not right. All you need to do for exercise is literally just go outside for a little bit. Maybe run around and play soccer with your friends. Go do a 30-minute workout. I don't even care. Go do a 10-minute hit workout. Because, there's no need to overcomplicate things like, I need to exercise for an hour to check off each box. Because then your boxes will start to look like this, where only a few of them are checked off and the rest are left blank because you didn't do enough. This habit tracker is just to show that you did the bare minimum. You should still be pushing yourself, and if you want to work out for an hour every day, you should work out for an hour every day. But this is just to show that you did something to complete the goal today. So if you went outside and ran with your friends, that's a check on the box. If you mowed the lawn and you were walking around for an hour, that's a check on the box. Just as long as you're doing the bare minimum, the box should be doing being checked. But you should also be putting in extra effort because as young guys on self improvement, if we do the bare minimum every day, let's say you're doing the bare minimum every day, and I am doing as much as I can every day. We still both will make progress. You'll go like this, nice and slow progress up. And I've talked about how slow progress is fine. But in this situation, you'll be going like this, and I will be going like this. And I'll be up here, and you're still right at my neck. I'll be on the ceiling by the time you reach my head because I will be pushing myself to go farther because I understand about how it will help me further down the line while you're just doing the bare minimum. So while this habit tracker is to check off the bare minimum, you should still be putting in the effort to do more every day. But this habit tracker is just to know that you did in fact do something today, not that because there are going to be days when you know your foot is broken and you can't do it, or you hurt your back while working out after 10 minutes or something. And those days you still need to say, I did actually do something, so I'm still going to check it off the box. All right. So this probably is the most important part, and this is where to put your habit tracker. Now, placement of this habit tracker is very important. You've heard me throughout the entire video talk about how I have all these things on my bed because we don't want our habit tracker in some obscure place that we'll never see it, like in our closet when the door is shut, because that's just stupid. And as I've been saying throughout this entire video, the habit tracker is meant to remind you. And how is it going to remind you if I'm here and my habit tracker is in the dining room, in which I never go to the dining room? So really putting your habit tracker in the right place will do everything for it, because if you have a great habit tracker but it's outside of your house on the wall and you're never going to see it there, it's not going to be useful at all, because habit trackers are meant to be reminders. And if your reminder is somewhere where you won't be reminded, it won't remind you. Because, if you keep it somewhere where it's really close to you, you'll be able to see it a lot of the time. Like, I spend a lot of the time in my bed. Like, I go to sleep in here. If I'm feeling bored, I might read a book in here. I do my work in here. I meditate in here. So I'm spending a lot of time around all of these papers. And so I can constantly be reminded, I still need to lift weights today. I still need to journal today. Is today going to be a good day or not? So if you don't have a place like that, it's really gonna hurt you. But also, I talked about the dopamine, and when I'm laying in bed at the end of a long, hard day, and I can look over and see, like, this entire month, like October, I did see this in the end, but the entire month, I had filled out everything on my habit tracker. That feels amazing to just look and say, "Oh my goodness, I did a lot this month." So that is why a habit tracker is so important to have in the right spot. Because as long as you have the habit tracker close to your vision for much time as possible, it will be so much harder to forget what you need to do, because it will be right there all the time. And it will be very easy to look back at the habit tracker and see, dang, I really did well this month. Now, let's wrap it up. A habit tracker should be a piece of paper that is constantly in your sight in order to physically remind you what to do today. It should be on a piece of paper where you work or you play a lot, so you can see where it is. To check it off, you just need to do something to put forth effort to the activity you are working on. And you must at least put exercise, reading, meditation, and journaling on your habit tracker. If you want to add more, like mine has music, and I told you about it, it has karate and the check-in, please be my guest. The more you add on here, the better. But you should still be pushing yourself to do more, even if the habit tracker only calls for the bare minimum, because you will never grow enough unless you do the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it. Bye-bye.